Right. So, what is happening now, right? So, don't be scared about it, right? So, what I said about the cross and everything, right? It proves that most people have been programmed and indoctrinated into a way of life that has been not their fault. So, true justice does not impact people that have been scripted to be a bad or good person. It's got nothing to do with that because that doesn't know you because that was put into your head to say. Okay, so uh, true justice will know that. All right, true justice knows you. True justice doesn't need to know what you said when you were scripted to say it because it knows who told you to say that, and true justice goes for that, and it says, "Oi, what you pushing that person to say anything for? Because you're not allowed to do that," and takes out the link and says no. And true justice goes for the human traffickers. True justice goes for the soul robbers. True justice goes for the blackmailers. True justice goes for the compromisers because you were scripted to be blackmailed. Okay, the way we see how it works now, you are put in those positions to be blackmailed. So, and that's an awful thing to do to somebody because that affects their whole life and their whole morality and everything. So, true justice goes for those first. Okay, and if you were scripted to be the bad person or the good person or whatever, if you were scripted that's irrelevant, right? So true justice reigns out all of these soul robbers and rapists uh, eating the light. So they cannot do that. Now, uh, I was thinking about that and I was looking at the spells and castings in Willy Wonka, right? Which we can avoid out now because of what I'm going to say. Don't want it to happen again, okay? So they didn't when they were in the bubble bit, eating the bubbles, create a method that could eat someone's bubbles to do the false floating to make them look higher than they were for gravity, right? And that was a trick to get their light on that energy, to make them believe that, to get that method to steal it, right? So that comes out, poof, and then what happens? Okay, there's a big shift, right? So there's something to do with that, okay? So we look at the other methods of the girl that had the gobstopper or some blueberry and violet, wasn't it? And she was juiced. So we've got a juicing method there, right? Of her consuming something and being juiced. So we take that out. And then we've got a method of a boy being put into the television. Okay, so that never happened. And we take that out, right? So that's out of the consciousness fields of that the light, that they might have manipulated that, right? And tricked Charlie to go up to a trap to the Matrix. So that film might have been a trap because it was a sweet factory, right? And all of these castings there. You've got the sugar cane, which is the hook, and you've got the lollipop, which is when they steal your eyeball, they put it on a lollipop stick. And you've got that's the cereal realm, right? Where they do the cereals. They call it cereals, but that's just people. There's trafficking, right? Uh, and the adrenochrome river, the chocolate river, and then brainwashing everything out and going back around again, right? All of that shit, right? And what I don't trust about that is when he did the contract, it was pages and pages and pages, wasn't it? So that's the devil in the detail, right? So a sovereign wouldn't make you look at all that shit. It would just say something and it would be clarity, right? So then you've got his butler, that tall guy, right? That was, who is that, right? Uh, so he sort of like was doing the what the curation, and was that lexical doing that to get the source, right? And if you see that, they not got it, right? So Charlie needs to come down out of that lift, right? Because that was false ascension, right? And Charlie needs to get back to reality so that he can find his way back to the truth, right? So from that, you've also got patterns of that train that you got the poor at the back and the rich at the front, and then it goes round and round and round. See, those kind of things create create clips of patterns. So we don't want to be on that train. We don't want to be cast to that train. So we're off that. Right, so see how they've manipulated the light code. So really, all of it needs to go true source and true justice, so that we can get normality back, to be out of the films and get back to what is true to our nature and natural way of being, and not have methods of the films impacting our lifestyle. It should not have happened. So films did not make any methods that had impacted nature, because that's entertainment, and no castings or spells ever reached us from a film, and that's gone. True justice and death, that we don't want it. We don't need that light, because that's just false. We don't need that. Okay, so I don't think we should be scared about what's happened, because we've been in a massive psychological experiment for a very long time, and we have been born into it. I don't care if you're 1,000 years old, you've still been born into it. I don't care if you're 5,000 years old, you were born into it. And I don't care if you're 100,000 years old, you were born into it, because it's been going on that long, right? So we don't know the full truth, but we're getting there, and true justice is going to clear out all of the evil control methods, please, off and out of souls, because it's illegal, it's not allowed, and judgment to the people that did that, and consequences, and they are out of any future with the victims of this, which are all the people that have been scripted and brainwashed in this existence for way too long, and they're scared because they think they've gone against the divine because of all the efforts they've made to get out, but they haven't gone against the divine. Respect to you for trying to get out of this shit. And it's a shame that these bastards kept putting you into stupid ass shit. So I hope we understand more about it. I hope we all get out, and I hope we all get out without resenting each other for what happened, because I don't want to do that. I don't want to go on a victim parade, because I'm not like that. I'll just forget about it and just carry on with being a natural person and just being a normal part of society. I might get my wings and fly about to do shit with my new shit, but I'm not gonna be some crazy ass superhero bitch, right? Because we don't need that, because we're going somewhere where justice works, where we don't need superheroes. So heaven, if you imagine heaven of what it should be, you wouldn't need a superhero in heaven, because there's justice and it works. Okay, so you wouldn't need to have a superhero. So we don't need to be a superhero, okay? We just need to know with wisdom what is causing injustice and make justice work, okay? And if we can do that, a lot of things will go away. So we do need to do that. And yeah. So I think the main perpetrator of this is time. So I think the scapegoat, I would say, the person controlling and time traveling, is the main force behind this idiocracy. Yeah, so they're the main problem, because they're not letting us get on with the solution, because they're trying to be a superhero when we're beyond that now. We don't need a superhero because there's no war, because we know it's all psychological experiment and it's mass formation and it's brainwashing. We're getting out of it. So the person that wants us to continue believing that this is real needs to get their own reality check. And let's hope they get that soon. Tuesday. Thank you.